welcome to today's Yoga Fusion live stream. We're going to be doing a lot of things that are going to incorporate balance, flexibility, mobility, and strength. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin with some sun salutations. So we're going to raise up our arms overhead, swan dive into a forward fold, walk our hands forward into plank. We're going to bring one knee in at a time, across, inside, to the outside. Come down into hovering, so only the palms of our hands, the balls of our feet, and our toes are in contact with the mat. Come into upward facing dog. Tuck our toes underneath for downward facing dog. Raising our left foot up, then our right, our left, then our right, our left, then our right. Walking our hands in towards our feet, forward fold. We're going to hold this position for just a moment so we can get that nice stretch in the back of our legs. And slowly rolling up. So going ahead, breathing in, raising our hands up. Swan diving into a forward fold. Walking our hands forward into plank. Bringing our knees in. Bring our knees in towards the opposite elbow. Bringing our knees to the outside of our elbows. And coming into hovering. Holding and hovering. Coming into upward facing dog. We're going to spread our legs a little bit, coming into Sphinx. Going ahead, looking up. Getting a nice stretch in our torso. Tucking our toes underneath to get into downward facing dog. Lifting our left leg up. Then our right. Our left. Then our right. Our left. Then our right. Jumping forward. Coming into forward fold. Again, holding here for just a few moments so that way we can get that nice stretch in the back of our legs. And slowly rolling up. All right, coming back, raising our hands up overhead. Swan diving into a forward fold. Coming up into halfways. Coming back down into that forward fold. Going ahead, stepping back into plank, coming into hovering, holding and hovering for just a few moments. Really breathing in. This is one of the strength poses. Coming into upward facing dog. We're going to go ahead and bend our knees, pointing our toes. Straightening out our legs again, getting our toes tucked underneath for downward facing dog. Lifting our left leg up. Coming into plank. Coming back into downward facing dog. Switching legs, raising our right leg up. Coming into plank. Coming back into downward facing dog. And lowering that right leg. Walking our hands in towards our feet, forward fold. Again, holding a little bit just for that stretch in the back of our legs. And slowly rolling up, raising our arms up overhead. Swan diving into a forward fold. Walking our hands forward into plank. Bringing our right knee in, our left, then to the opposite elbows, then to the outside of our elbows, and we're going to do that once again. Knees in, knees on the inside of the opposite elbow, knees on the outside, and one more time in the middle, on the inside of the opposite elbows and on the outside of our elbows, coming into hovering, holding in this position, coming into upward dog, coming back into child's pose, taking a few nice deep breaths in here. From child's pose, we're going to go ahead, clasp our hands together, get our head on the mat. We're going to walk our feet in to get ready for a headstand. This does not mean you have to do a headstand. We're just doing the preparations for one. So we're going to go ahead, bend one knee, and lower it. We're going to go ahead, take the opposite leg, bend that knee, extending it and lowering. We're going to bend that knee, extend, lower, bend the knee, extend, and lower. We're going to come onto the tips of our toes. And I'm going to slowly try to get into headstand. Maybe not today. And that's okay. We're going to go ahead and get into cat-cow. So from tabletop, we're going to breathe in as we lift up and breathe out as we arch our back. Flowing in this position. Just a few more. All right, we're going to go ahead and have our fingers facing our bodies. We're going to go ahead and lean back so we can get a nice stretch on the inside of our forearms. So this is where we get into the mobility aspect of this fusion flow. Repositioning if you need to, so you can get a better stretch. And this is where we still want to have our breath be nice and slow and smooth, really focusing on our breath. We're going to go ahead and alleviate some of the weight from our wrists. We're going to go ahead and switch our palms to facing the sky. We're going to get a nice stretch in our wrists, but having most of the weight on our knees and our lower body. Coming back to having our facing our body, leaning back to get that nice stretch on the inside of our forearms. From there, returning to tabletop, extending the legs to get into plank, coming down into hovering, which we'll hold for a few moments. Pushing back up into plank, coming back into hovering, coming into upward dog, tucking our toes underneath for downward facing dog, Pedaling the feet. Really trying to get our heels towards the mat. Coming back into plank. Bringing our knees in, one at a time, in towards the inside of the opposite elbow and the outside of our elbows. Inside, across, outside, and one more time, inside, inside across, and outside. Coming into hovering. So again, only the palms of our hands, the balls of our feet, and our toes are in contact with the mat. If you have long hair, then your hair will also probably be in contact with the mat. Coming into upward facing dog. And coming back into child's pose. Really reaching with those hands, with those palms on the mat. And going ahead, interlacing our fingers, getting onto the top of our head. Getting into preparation for a headstand. I'm going to go ahead and adjust my position real quick. Raising one leg up. Coming on to almost a point position with our toe. Switching sides. And then trying to see if we can get into that headstand position. Again, epic fail on my part, but hey, I made the attempt. So coming back into downward facing dog, we're going to pedal the feet. Coming into plank, coming into hovering, coming into upward facing dog, tucking our toes underneath to get back into downward facing dog, coming into plank. We're going to jump our feet forward, forward fold, and we're going to slowly roll up. So the fusion aspect that I was talking about is we're going to also go ahead and incorporate regular body weight movements. So we're going to come into squats, flowing with the breath. Just going up and down, allowing your body to flow with your breath. Just a few more. Now this last one, we're going to come into a really deep stretch, bringing our hands into prayer position and holding this position for a few moments, a little bit more than a few moments. Really pushing our elbows against the inside of our thighs. Really opening up our hips, the inside of our thighs. Bringing our hands to the bottom of the mat. We're going to go ahead, pop our butt up, come into a reverse good morning, come back into that squat position, pop our butt up, reverse good morning. And let me show you this from the side. This is what I call the yoga twerk. So squat, pop the butt up, and that reverse good morning. Squat, butt up, and reverse good morning. Got a few more. Last two. And awesome. From here, we're going to bring our legs closer together, raising our hands up. Swan diving into a forward fold. Walking our hands forward into plank. Bending at our elbows to come into hovering. Coming into upward facing dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet. Bringing our knees down. Coming back up. Knees down. Back up into downward facing dog. And continuing with this flow for a little bit. Really focusing on flowing with your breath. Lifting our left leg up. Then the right. The left. Then the right. The left. And the right. We're going to go ahead and bring our knees to the ground. We're going to come into dolphin. So we're on our forearms, very similar to downward facing dog. From dolphin, we're going to go ahead, come into a forearm plank. Back into dolphin. And back into plank. Dolphin. To plank. Dolphin. To plank. Dolphin. To plank. Bring our knees down. We're going to come back into that child's pose. Taking some nice deep breaths in this position. From here, we're going to go ahead and bring our right leg forward. We're going to go ahead and bring our forearms down for lizard. And if you would like to really open up your hips, you're going to come onto the outside of that foot, opening up your knee, bringing it back to being fully on your entire foot, on the entire sole of your foot. Then we're going to go ahead, we're going to open up again, coming to the outside of that foot. You might feel some pops, a little extra stretching. That is completely normal, so no worries. Bringing it back to the entire sole of your foot. And opening it back up just one more time. We're going to hold it here. And going ahead, coming onto the sole of that foot, we're going to go ahead, come onto the palms of our hands, bringing that right leg back, bringing the left leg forward, again, coming into lizard, coming onto our forearms, opening up, coming to the outside of that foot, bringing it back to the sole, coming back to the outside of that foot, really opening up at that knee. And me personally, I feel, yep, it just happened. I felt that big adjustment right in this area. And coming back to the sole of our feet. And one more time, opening up onto the outside of that foot. We're going to leave that open for just a few moments. Really allowing the weight of our hips to fall forward so we can get a nice deep stretch. Nice deep breaths. And coming back to the sole of our feet. Going ahead, bringing our palms to the mat. Coming back into plank. Into hovering. Into upward dog. Into downward dog. Plank. Hovering. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Plank. Hovering. Upward facing dog. Into downward facing dog. We're going to step our right foot forward, coming into a standing lunge. You can go ahead, raise your hands up overhead if you would like, or you can go ahead and let them be loose. We're going to bring that knee down. We're going to straighten that back leg. And now we're going to straighten, whoops. And now we're going to straighten the front leg. If I can get my balance. Sometimes I have my bad lupus days that mess with me, but I think today it's just my balance messing with me. Coming back into that lunge position. Stepping forward, bringing that right leg back, having the left knee bent. Bringing that right knee down. Straightening that back leg and straightening the front leg. Coming back into that lunge. Again, you can raise your hands up overhead if you would like, or you can allow your arms to be loose, whatever you prefer. And bringing our hands down to the ground, coming back into that downward facing dog position. Bringing our knees to the mat, coming into saddle, or into a sitting saddle, I should say. From here, we're going to go ahead and come into full saddle, having our palms facing the sky, breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Really allowing to feel that stretch all in this area in your quads. And slowly coming up, using your elbows and the palms of your hands. We're going to go ahead and come into boat position, a bent knee boat, So having our back as straight as we can, having our knees bent, having our arms facing forward. We're going to straighten the legs, then bend, straighten the legs, then bend, straighten the legs, and bend, straighten the legs, and bend. From there, we're going to go ahead and get into a supine position. We're going to go ahead, come up into a shoulder stand. Inversions are so good for the body. So coming into that shoulder stand, really trying to lift up that torso. From here, we're going to go ahead and do bicycle.
Hi everybody, welcome to day 2 of October yoga with our today. Not only do we check the position of arms, we're also testing out different levels like beautiful the center of the whole
Lowering our body back down. Coming back into the bent knee boat. Straightening the legs, then bending them. Straightening the legs, then bending them. Straightening the legs, then bending them. Coming into a supine position. We're going to go ahead and come back into that shoulder stand. We're going to go ahead and open up those legs and close them, allowing them to fall back into plow, straightening out those arms. Feeling a nice stretch in the back of our body. Bringing our hands back to our lower back, lifting our legs back up to the shoulder stand. And lowering our legs again into plow. Lifting our legs back up into that shoulder stand. And slowly coming out to a bent knee boat. Extending the legs, then bending them. Extending the legs. Woo! Then bending them. Extending the legs. Then bending them. Extending the legs. And bending them. We're going to go ahead and come into a flow of reverse tabletop. So coming up, then coming back down, lowering our bottom to the mat. Coming up, lowering back down, and flowing with the breath. Got 5 more. Holding the last one. And coming back down. We're going to go ahead and come into a side plank on our elbow on the left-hand side. Coming up. Extending that right leg overhead.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right, and back up.
Bringing that hand forward. Bringing that hand back up and lowering the body. We're going to go ahead and do it on the right hand side as well. So coming up onto our elbow. Raising that hand up overhead. Extending that arm forward. Raising that arm up, back overhead. And slowly lowering the body. We're going to come back to the left-hand side. This time we're going to go ahead and do the full plank. So extending our arms straight. From there, if you can, bringing the right leg forward, grabbing onto that toe. Releasing. And lowering that body. Coming onto the other side. Coming into that full plank. Extending that left leg forward, grabbing at the toe. This is where we're messing with some balance and strength at the same time. Releasing that leg. And lowering the body back down. Sorry, those are really pulley and bugs freak me out. We're going to bring our feet, the soles of our feet together. We're going to go ahead and come into a forward fold. Really feeling that stretch on the inside of our thighs. Seeing if you can bring your elbows to the mat. If not, that's totally okay. Really reaching with the palms of our hands, reaching forward, allowing our neck to relax, allowing our head to relax, allowing it to fall forward. And slowly rolling up. We're going to go ahead and return to a standing position. We're going to come into chair. From chair, we're going to come onto our toes and return back to chair, onto our toes, back to chair, into mountain, reaching up overhead, back into mountain, and back into chair, coming onto our toes, coming back down, 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 coming into mountain position, reaching overhead, and back into mountain. We're going to go ahead and come back to those sun salutations, reaching our arms up overhead, swan diving into a forward fold, walking our hands forward into plank, coming into hovering, where only the palms of our hands, the balls of our feet, and our toes are in contact with the mat. Coming into upward facing dog. And coming back into child's pose. Nice deep breaths in this position. From here, we're going to go ahead, bring our knees underneath our hips. We're going to extend our arms forward, bringing our chin to the mat. If you can't bring your chin to the mat, go ahead and bring your forehead to the mat. This is puppy dog. Really feeling that stretch. We're going to hold this position for a little bit because so often we're sitting, we're hunched over. And this position really helps to correct that incorrect posture. Breathing in nice and deeply. If you can reach forward even more, please feel free. From there, we're going to go ahead and come up. Coming into tabletop, we're going to go back to cat-cow. Inhaling and exhaling. Just flowing with your breath. Coming into a plank position, we're going to jump forward, coming into a forward fold. Reaching behind the ankles to pull our bodies forward towards our knees. And slowly rolling up. We're going to go ahead and bring our hands up overhead. We're going to lean to the right hand side. Not trying to collapse with the right hand side, but really getting that stretch on the left hand side of our body.
Let's see what we're at. These competitors definitely works down.
And going ahead, coming back to the center. And going on to reaching toward the left-hand side, really feeling that stretch on the right-hand side of our body. Coming back to center, going ahead, reaching towards the right-hand side, feeling that stretch on the left-hand side of our body. Coming back to center and reaching toward the left-hand side of our body to feel that stretch on the right-hand side. Coming back to center, we're going to go ahead, release those arms, bringing them back up into a prayer position. We're going to come into halfways, extending those arms, coming up, coming back into halfways, coming into a forward fold, reaching for our ankles, pulling our bodies towards our knees. And slowly rolling up. We're going to come back to that lunge position with our right leg forward and our left leg straight behind us. I'm going to go ahead, have my hands on my hips. If you want to heel toe your way forward into a deeper lunge, by all means, you totally can, just like I did. We're going to go ahead and bring those hands forward. Bring those arms up overhead. Bending at the elbows out to the side. Back to overhead. Hands in front of us. Relaxing those arms into a mountain position. We're going to go ahead, step forward. Stepping back with the left leg into as deep of a lunge as you want to be. Remembering that that right leg behind us is pretty straight. Our left knee is bent. Bringing our arms in front of us. Bringing our arms up overhead. Bending at the elbows. Bringing our arms up overhead. And bringing those hands in front of us. Coming into mountain pose with our arms. We're going to go ahead and step forward. Stepping that left leg back again. Bringing our hands into prayer position. We're going to go ahead and twist to the inside of our right leg. From there, we're going to bring our right hand down, our left arm up. Really trying to look up at our hand. Coming back into that prayer position on the inside of our right thigh. We're going to go ahead, place our hands on the ground. Bring that back foot in a little bit. We're going to straighten out the front knee for triangle. Slowly coming up. We're going to come into a lunge on our left leg. Straightening out our right. Getting into a nice deep lunge position. Bringing our hands together into prayer position. We're going to go ahead and twist onto the inside of our left knee. We're going to go ahead and bring our left arm down. Bring that right arm up. Looking towards our right hand. Bringing our hands back into that prayer position. Bringing our hands down to the mat, coming into plank, into hovering, into upward facing dog, bending at our knees, extending those legs, tucking our toes underneath to come into downward facing dog, stepping one foot forward, then the other, into forward fold, and slowly rolling up. We're going to go ahead, come back into chair position. Having those arms extended forward, our knees are nice and bent. Coming into mountain pose. Coming into chair position. Coming back into mountain pose. Back into chair position. Back up into mountain pose. And back into chair position. And back up into mountain pose. From here, we're going to go ahead, bring our arms up overhead, swan dive into a forward fold. Grabbing at our ankles, pulling our bodies towards our knees. Coming up into halfways. Coming back down into that forward fold. Bringing our hands towards the mat or on the mat, we're going to bend our knees. Coming into a seated position. We're going to go ahead and stack our knees, our right on top of our left. We're going to bring our hands into prayer position, and we're going to twist and turn, bringing the outside, bringing our left elbow to the outside of our right thigh. Keeping those prayer hands in the middle of our chest. And enjoying that nice twist in the back, as well as on your right outer hip. Coming back into center, we're going to go ahead and stack our knees opposite, so having our left knee stacked on top of our right, bringing our hands back into that prayer position. We're going to turn our bodies toward the left-hand side, bringing our right elbow to the outside of our left thigh. Really feeling that twist, that twist, in our back and on the outside of our left hip. Taking some nice deep breaths in this position.
But then you think about it, like, I actually really close. Back up. Straight up. This is one of the words. I don't know. Guys, this is why I have to go because how are you going to fucking win your turn?
Coming back into center. We're going to go ahead, get into pigeon position. So extending that left leg back, having the right knee bent. We're going to go ahead and fall forward. You can be on your forearms or you can come into having your forehead on the mat. Allowing our body weight to really come into the center of our body where our hips are. So we can feel that nice stretch in our hips. In our hips is where we hold a lot of our emotional trauma, a lot of our stagnant negative energy. So when we're stretching out and releasing all of these things in a position like this, it is incredibly helpful for our mental health. And it's great for your body. Really feeling that deep stretch in this position. Reaching forward with your hands if you can. Lowering your body even more towards the mat. And going ahead, walking our hands in. Bringing that right leg back. And bringing, oh, there's really pulley again and I'm freaking out. Oh, it's stuck there. Ah! This is where my fear comes in. I'm so afraid of bugs. I can't do that. Ah! No! Deathly afraid of bugs. Okay. Oh my goodness. Excuse me for that. Okay, bringing our left leg forward. Bending the knee, extending the right leg. Going ahead, falling forward. Getting nice and deep into this stretch. This pigeon position. Really allowing the weight to fall onto your left hip. So again, we can release any stored up emotional trauma, any stored up negative emotions, because this is where we tend to carry it. With a nice deep breath, allowing ourselves to slowly feel that hip begin to release. We'll also feel it in our glutes. Reaching forward with our hands, allowing our bodies to pull even closer towards the mat.
therapy doesn't work. Meetings my parents don't work. So jump wood, right? Got into it all. So full right leg. And forward. Fingers. So all we're doing, straight up. Try to get that ass to the ground as soon as possible. If you need to move the knee out and the leg up, you can do that. Otherwise, just how it's somewhere here. Now we're doing that. Like, these guys. I'm so sorry. I can't make that society a hard time. 2021. We're past it. The bear is past it. So I don't want another bear. That's what we're doing. It's crazy.
And walking our hands in, coming up, bringing that left leg back, coming into a plank position, bending our elbows to come into hovering, where again, only the palms of our hands, the balls of our feet, and our toes are in contact with the mat, nothing else. Coming into upward facing dog, tucking our toes underneath for downward facing dog, back into plank, bending at the elbows, upward facing dog, tucking our toes underneath for downward facing dog, back into plank, bending at the elbows, into upward facing dog, tucking our toes underneath for downward facing dog. Coming back onto our knees and our hands for tabletop. Let me move forward a little bit. We're going to go ahead and extend opposite leg, opposite arm, and bring it back down. Opposite leg, opposite arm. Bring it back down. Opposite leg and opposite arm. And bringing it down.
Forward, the right, heel stretches. Backwards. So now, I did part of the hair will stretch. You don't move your legs this. I know. Small thing.
We're going to go ahead and come into a seated position. We're going to extend our legs forward, reaching up overhead and falling forward, grabbing at your feet if possible, or grabbing at your ankles or behind your, or right below and behind your knees at your calves. Relaxing that neck, relaxing the head.
You might be just having to decide. I can't scale. 0 to 6. 6 being all day, 0 being all day.
Really pulling so we can get a deeper stretch.
So you gotta get rid of them. You gotta take it from a 1 to a 0. How are you gonna do that? The grace or the credit.
And slowly rolling up. We're going to go ahead, come into Shavasana or corpse pose. Breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. We're going to go ahead and close our eyes and focus on something to be grateful for. It can be anything and everything. But let's try to hone in on one thing that we're grateful for. For me personally today, it is my ability to provide a yoga sequence for people to follow. If not now, then later on, after this live stream is posted. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Going ahead, coming up into a seated position. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this yoga fusion practice, and I will see you on the very next live stream. Thank you so much to Stephanie and to Paolo for interacting with me on the live chat. Sorry I couldn't see it, and I'll see y'all next time. Be well, stay wild as well.